The finance officer and one other post officer, usually the commander, sign and countersign all post checks only after payment is authorized. The post judge advocate is responsible for drafting the post constitution and bylaws for presentation to and adoption by the general post membership. It is then forwarded to the department judge advocate for review and on to the national headquarters. A sample post, CBL, is provided as an addendum to the officer's manual. The historian compiles and maintains a complete historical record of post activities and works closely with the public relations officer. The provost marshal is responsible for keeping order at post meetings, for the care of post colors, and for carrying out other duties as assigned. The service officer becomes familiar with and shares information about veterans' benefits at post meetings, refers veterans to appropriate AMVETS National Service Officers or other VA accredited representatives if necessary. He or she becomes familiar with the steps to develop and present a proper claim, working through accredited service officers. The public relations officer prepares and promotes information about all post activities, programs, and personnel working on behalf of veterans and the local community. He or she becomes familiar with and utilizes all public relations resources from the National Communications Department. He or she develops relationships with the local media representatives. The chaplain serves as a member of the commander's staff and acts as an advisor and consultant to the commander in matters relating to religious issues. He or she facilitates the principles of good moral conduct and citizenship in the post. The quartermaster acts as a liaison between the post membership and the national quartermaster. He or she assists committee chairs in securing materials for the post projects and programs. The woman veterans representative becomes familiar with women's veterans issues and works closely with the first vice commander in outreach to women veterans. Next, we will pay a visit to Hagerstown, Maryland, and stop in at AMVETS Post 10 to see how Commander Rusty Baker conducts a meeting. There are 16 distinct agenda items that follow the same order at each meeting. However, some meetings may not require activity under each item. The process begins by making certain that your members are informed of the meeting in plenty of time to schedule their participation. Ideally, you have an annual calendar that has identified a standard meeting time and location, in addition to a reminder system. All files and notes should be reviewed by the commander and put in a sequence for a good meeting flow as outlined by the order of business. The post meeting is called to order when the commander raps the gavel 3 times. Usually 2 raps signal the membership to rise. 1 rap directs the membership to be seated. If AMVETS covers are being worn, a brisk military salute should be given at the command. If no hat is being worn or a civilian hat or cap is being worn, the salute is given by removing the hat or cap and placing it against the left shoulder with the hand placed over the heart.
Invocation.
The chaplain should give the invocation. He may substitute his own prayer appropriate to the meeting or read the invocation provided in the officer's manual. All hats should be removed and held over the heart with the right hand.
We, the American veterans.
The post commander or his designate may read the AMVETS preamble, or the entire post can read it together.
Roll call of officers.
When the roll call of officers begins, all officers should stand. The adjutant then reads the names of each officer, and the provost marshal responds, present or absent, as the case may be, when each name is called. Once counted present, the officer can be seated.
Does everybody have a copy of the previous minutes?
Minutes of the previous post meeting and executive committee meeting, if appropriate, should be read. They should always be approved as read or as amended. The adjutant records the minutes, and they should be typed or written in ink. They should also be signed by the adjutant or the member designated to record the minutes.
Bills and communication.
At each meeting, important correspondence should be read or summarized for the members. The finance officer should also give a report at this time. including a statement of the post's financial condition, complete with itemized income, expenditures, and the post's banking balance.
At this time, I'd like to introduce.
When a guest is introduced, the introduction should include the name, title if any, or qualifications if they are to speak on a specific issue.
Applications for membership.
The first vice commander gives the membership report. The report should identify the paid-up members and address the efforts being made to secure all renewals and new members. During this report, applications for new membership are voted on and new members are introduced.
Now let's move on to reports of officers and committees.
All reports, such as Americanism Committee, Entertainment Committee, including reports from the Public Relations Officer on any and all promotional programs or publicity received.
Let's move to unfinished business.
Discuss any pertinent issues that were left unresolved in previous meetings.
Okay, moving on to new business.
Introduce any important issues that have not been previously addressed.
Good and welfare of the club.
Personal information may be shared about members or other veterans that may be in need of assistance and/or a friendly word, visit, or card of encouragement. Educational and entertainment features are often shared at this time.
Let's have our benediction.
The chaplain may read the benediction provided in the officer's manual or substitute his own prayer appropriate for the occasion. If the flags are not physically retired by the color guard, honors to the flag are rendered with a brisk salute. The commander adjourns the meeting by rapping the gavel once and saying,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Meeting adjourned.